Now we're talking. All right. Hi, Edmonton. How we doing? All right. I'm just gonna scooch down so I can be on the video. So, what Mogul Mastermind is a real estate networking event, and we have been doing it for a very long time in Edmonton. We did our first one in 2015. We're very well aligned with a lot of the other groups. So, how many people here are Keyspire members? Anybody? Yeah, a little Keyspire action. Anybody could be here, Rain member or former Rain member? Lots of Rain. We've got Cam in the back there. How many people go to Cam's IPG meetup? Love it. Awesome, awesome meetup. And there, you know what? There's tons and tons of amazing meetups across Western Canada, Eastern Canada, and we do our best to provide a really great experience and a really great place for people to come and talk about real estate investing. So that's why we do it. I mean, the Mogul Group is a group of realtors. So we've been a group of realtors in Edmonton. I've been practicing for about 15 years. And the story of how we ended up out in Vancouver is, oh, hello, Adrian. Adrian, get your mic on and say hello to everybody here in Vancouver. You're muted, so go to your laptop and hit the unmute button. So Adrian is, right? This is going to be the hilarious theme of the night, is putting up with stuff like this. So Adrian, give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me in Edmonton. And Adrian, say hello to everybody in Vancouver.
Hello, Vancouver.
There we go. We did it. All right, we are synchronized amongst the cities. This is awesome. So Adrian is in our venue in Edmonton. We've been doing Mogul Mastermind there for a long time. Right before COVID, it'd be 100, 150 people out to the event talking about real estate, networking, getting together, connecting, sharing ideas, inspiring each other, holding each other accountable. That's Mogul Mastermind. In addition to that, we'd have some of the industry leading speakers come out to talk about all things real estate investing. So sharing strategies, sharing inspirational stories, sharing tactics, how-to content, and that's what these real estate networking events are all about. So with COVID, that all came to a grinding halt, and everything just migrated to being on Zoom. And we did the same thing. We were on Zoom, but we kind of figured, with the state of the world and with restaurants being open, schools being open, lots of public venues being open, we thought, you know what, let's give it a go. Let's have a socially distanced, COVID safe, we've got hand sanitizer everywhere. We got our Lysol spray here. If you guys get too close, boom, I'm getting you. So we're doing it. We're going for it. And hopefully this trend continues. Hopefully the world becomes a safer place. Hopefully the world becomes a healthier place. And hopefully, Jen, I saw your eye poking to the corner of the screen there. Hopefully it's not too long before we can have, our weekend conferences again, our weekend workshops again, and we can properly network and connect. I know Zoom has been great, but connecting it, there's no substitute for connecting in person. So before we get into our content, there obviously are a few housekeeping rules. So Adrian, why don't you set the stage for what's happening there in Edmonton?
Yeah, so this is our first time back. It's super exciting for us to be back. I know it was, we've all been behind the screen for so long. So we're super excited. This is our first time actually trying out 2 cities. So how's it working for you guys? Can you see okay? Can you hear okay? Awesome, great. And obviously, first things first, we want to make sure that everyone stays safe. So please keep your mask on at all times. We have individually wrapped stuff, so we have water bottles there if you get thirsty. Devin dove into the candy bars, ready for Halloween candy, so I love it. You got to get that sugar content up so you can really crush the kids candy when they come back on the 31st. And we also got granola bars and hand sanitizer stations pretty much everywhere. So please just make sure you guys are being safe tonight. And that's it from here, from Edmonton.
Love it. Love it. And we're pretty much in the same boat. So we've got in the back, everything's individually wrapped because that's the COVID rules. All of these chairs, we got Eric out with a tape measure, are 6 feet apart. So thank you, Eric, for being so precise. Sit with your cohort. please keep your masks on. I know they're not the most comfortable thing in the world, but we're working it. Use hand sanitizer at will. Be safe. Don't cough on each other. Elbow bump. You know, we're trying to be as COVID friendly as possible. Washrooms are kind of in the corridor in the hallway over there. So if you got to go, no problem. And what we will be doing is we'll have a networking break kind of at the halfway point. So that's kind of our COVID plan. Please just, be safe, be socially distanced, but obviously don't be shy about networking. I mean, the whole reason we're having a networking event in person is specifically, well, that's great. It's specifically so that we can start reintroducing human contact. That's what we're going for. So, Adrian, I'm going to take over and do a quick market update and do a couple of opening comments, and then we'll get into our first panel. So, that is not what I want to screen share just yet. Okay. So, Adrian, so hello everybody in Edmonton, Vancouver, Red Deer. So just so you guys know, there's actually a real estate networking event. So you guys are seeing exactly what I'm seeing. Okay, great. There's a real estate. So I'm just going to get this on my way here. I want to topple the delicate camera tower. So so first thing first, welcome to Mogul Mastermind. Gave you guys some opening comments. One of the things we always like to thank is our power team. At Mogul, one of the things we pride ourselves on is just having you guys covered for everything from mortgage broker to lawyer to general contractor, etc. We don't really have this completely built out in Vancouver yet, but for those of you who invest in Edmonton, every single step of the way, we have contractors that we use. One of the things we pride ourselves on in Edmonton is every single person on the team in Edmonton owns investment property. They're flippers, they own multifamily, they own buy and hold, and they're walking the walk. So we always take our power team members on a test drive before we recommend them to you guys. So look forward to that. We're currently interviewing people for our power team here in Vancouver, and we should have our power team really crystallized and solidified and ready to go once we get started in January.
Hey,
so
James.
just do a quick. Yes, Adrian.
Can you adjust your camera? We're just seeing the back end of your blazer there.
Is that better?
Beautiful. Love the face. There we go.
I should be screen sharing right now. Okay, can you see my slide deck now, Adrian? Are we seeing the slide deck? I'm going to assume the answer is yes, you're muted. Okay, let's talk about 2020. It's been a weird year. Am I right? So first, we started the year with the theme of this year is going to be stuff burning. Really, we started with Australia lighting on fire, but because it was on the other end of the world, we're like, yeah, okay, that sucks for Australia. And then all of a sudden, Kobe Bryant went down in a blaze of not so glory. That was a bummer for me. I'm a big basketball fan, and that's when we knew the world was going to hell in a handbasket. And then boom, COVID hit. Hi, Ralph. So COVID-19 has obviously been one of the biggest themes of the year. So at first, we went into total lockdown. This guy is probably the worst representation of working from home I could possibly find. How many people had a captive and quiet baby on their lap while they were trying to have a Zoom meeting? Exactly. So working from home has been tough. Lockdown's been tough. And one of the things that I think a lot of people have on their mind is that the government of Canada, to their credit, stepped in to make sure business was strong, to make sure that people could pay their rent, and to make sure that people had resources available. But we're going to talk today a little bit about the fact that these supports are running out. We're going to talk a little bit today about the fact that mortgage deferrals are running out and what that's going to mean. And the funny thing was, at first, the market froze. Everybody wanted to wait and see what was happening, and it went into a total standstill. And then all of a sudden, the market picked back up. I know in Edmonton, June was one of the busiest volume months we've ever had. In Vancouver, it was like the bidding wars kind of almost sort of went away for half a second. And then boom, the market came back. And especially in that affordable for Vancouver, like the sub 2 million price range, it was bidding wars all over the place. So it's been an interesting market because at first we all thought the market was going to completely implode. And it turned out that taking 2 months off of real estate created a lot of pent up buying pressure. Speaking of fires, we dealt with a lot of fires in the States, which, we had a little bit of some, we had some in Edmonton. And of course, the biggest fire of all in the States, the presidential debate last night. That was a real treat. And of course, one of the things that I think is going to come up as one of our themes is when Trump first got elected, we thought this guy's a Yahoo and his craziness is going to be bad for everything. And we've survived 4 years of Trump. So, no matter who wins, I don't think America's insanity is going to have that big of an impact on us. I think Canada knows better. And we're headed in the right direction where we can take care of ourselves and take care of our own business in a global marketplace. So that's exciting. What has been happening from a good news perspective, house flippers, still making a lot of money in Edmonton, still making a lot of money out in the Lower Mainland. Am I right, Melanie? Yeah. What else has been happening? Lots of Canadian travel. So this is a good fire. It's been good for the Canadian economy to keep everybody in-house. Lots of Canadian tourism. It seems like life's returning to normal, and that's a good thing. And of course, stability has been key in the Edmonton market. Everybody who owns cash flow properties, at first we're thinking all of our tenants are going to move out and can't pay rent, and oh my God, everybody's getting fired. But after that first initial month of jitters, my portfolio didn't have a single tenant leave because of COVID-related concerns. There was natural turnover because they were upsizing, downsizing, having kids, whatever. But cash flow was king, stability was king, and it was a huge, huge component of what I saw the most successful investors do to get their way through this first phase of COVID. So that's going to be one of our big themes tonight, and that's going to be the theme of our first panel. That's my segue, is that we are going to talk about what is phase two, what is part two of the COVID saga going to look like. We made it through phase one, kind of sort of unscathed. Some people got some really great deals on real estate. Some people, made it through business as usual, tenants paying rent. But now that those government supports are starting to run out, now that we're seeing some of the mortgage deferrals run out, now that we're heading into winter, which especially for the Edmonton crowd, we know that that's a really slow market. What is going to happen and what should we do about it? So that's going to be the theme of our first panel. So the first thing we're going to do is, Jen, if you can start promoting our remote panelists. Adrian, if you want to hop on stage to introduce our Edmonton speaker. And I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce, I'm going to turn the camera, our panelist here. Yeah, there he is. Our panelist here in Vancouver, Mr. Ralph Case himself. So Ralph, you want to come grab a seat in the panelist's corner?